Welcome back. The Mandalorian always has a place in my heart when there's so many Star Wars projects recently. And by chance we're waiting for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'll sincerely break down of 8 structural pillars that engineered The Mandalorian's success. Let's get this over with. Stagecraft technology. As my first priority from a purely production standpoint, The Mandalorian revolutionized visual effects by utilizing the volume industrial light and magic, developed a massive LED screen environment projecting real-time 3D environments rendered in Unreal Engine. Instead of actors in a green void, the screens cast accurate environmental light onto the physical props and the protagonist's reflective armor. This created a level of visual verisimilitude that bridged television budgets and feature film aesthetics. What a chef's kiss. Next we have Ludwig Göransson's original score. Star Wars historically relied on John Williams' operatic leitmotifs. Göransson took a calculated departure. He engineered a soundscape combining primitive acoustic instruments like the bass recorder with 1980s synthesizers and distorted electric guitars. This acoustic architecture signaled a different corner of the universe, grounding the space opera in the auditory aesthetic of a gritty frontier without relying strictly on nostalgia. You can see how iconic the Mandalorian theme music is. Gave me an unspeakable feeling. Number 3, could you please point out what I want to say? Logan, Terminated 2, The Last of Us, Leon the Professional. What made we enjoy the story so bad was the lone wolf and cub trope. The show heavily leans on the structural foundation of Kazuo Koike's classic manga, which influenced samurai cinema and westerns. Pairing a hardened warrior with a highly vulnerable target creates a universally understood dynamic of protection. Yes, that's how we look at Djarin and Grogu. It requires minimal exposition. The audience inherently understands motivation, establishing an immediate emotional hook based on structural efficiency. And after story trope is storytelling. In an era of heavily serialized television, The Mandalorian adopted an adventure of the week format. While there is an overarching plot, individual episodes function as self-contained missions. Viewers experience a complete narrative arc within 40 minutes. It fundamentally lowered the barrier to entry for casual viewers, preventing the fatigue of prolonged serialization, so everyone can enjoy the show in various ways without being forced to watch the whole previous seasons. Next pillar, didn't you guess the biological and practical design of Grogu is one of the reasons that made the show really good, did you? Objectively, the character's design adheres to Kainchen's schema, a baby schema of physical features like large eyes and round cheeks that biologically trigger a human caregiving response. Furthermore, relying heavily on a practical, animatronic puppet rather than pure CGI allowed actors to physically interact with the character, providing a tangible weight that computer graphics often lack. Number 6. Optimizing show don't tell. The Mandalorian's face was completely obscured. Conveying emotion without facial expressions required a highly collaborative performance. Pedro Pascal provides restrained vocal modulation, while stunt performers like Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder utilize hyper-specific body language. Just remember the tilt of the helmet, the shifting of weight to communicate internal dialogue. It is a masterclass in restricted, physical acting. Next, we're talking about the specific pairing of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni secured the show's structural integrity. Favreau brought experience in establishing massive live-action cinematic universes and VFX technology. Filoni brought an encyclopedic knowledge of franchise lore. Favreau ensured it functioned as a premium blockbuster. Filoni ensured mythological consistency with established canon. Finally, last pillar, isolated world building. Placing the narrative on the Outer Rim frontier, 5 years after the fall of the Empire, isolated the story from the dense baggage of the main cinematic saga. You didn't need to consume decades of supplemental material to understand the stakes. This localized world building invited new audiences into the universe without overwhelming them. That's the list. 8 structurally analyzed reasons for the show's success. If you actually enjoyed this clinical breakdown, hit the algorithm buttons, drop your own data in the comments. I got to rewatch The Mandalorian for the 21st time.